I want to ask you all a question. This is not only directed at Pacers fans. If Chad Buchanan or Kevin Pritchard managed to see this video, this is for you too, okay? Does Tyrese Halliburton's prime mean anything to you fucking people? Anybody? Does his prime matter? Because the shit that I saw today makes me think that we're not worried about it. I understand Tyrese Halliburton is 23 years old, but he's also a bona fide fucking all-star. Okay? So when I saw the report today that is starting to circulate that we're interested in Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, I have to ask, do you guys want to win basketball games and win playoff games and win an NBA championship? Or are we just a fucking development stop for every failed project in the NBA? Because I'm just going to keep it a buck. I don't understand what people love so much about Jonathan Kuminga. I don't. I really fucking don't. Because the fact of the matter is, okay, Jonathan Kuminga's an okay player. But the only reason that Pacers fans are interested in him is because he's barely old enough to buy a fucking shot at a bar. That's the only reason. The only fucking reason. And he just happens to play a position that we are lacking desperately at. Okay? Like, that's the only fucking reason that we have any interest in him. He's an overrated defender. He couldn't hit the broadside of a fucking barn from three-point land. Okay? He's an okay scorer. I even think his ability to score the ball is kind of overrated as well, but I digress. It is what it is. I am just tired of being the organization that goes after everybody's failed projects in hopes that it turns into something that, you know, we can utilize down the road at some point. Like Jonathan Kuminga, like, we have Obi Toppin. We took on Jalen Smith, right? We have Aaron Nesmith. We have Benedict Mathurin. We have Andrew Nembhard. Don't you think we have enough development guys? Do we have Jarris Walker? I mean, how many guys do we need to take on that need minutes to be effective or need minutes just to sort of find out what the fuck they're gonna become? We have Ben Shepherd. Like, I gotta ask, how many more development guys do you want to take on? Are we a basketball team, or are we a basketball camp that just operates over the summer and we make guys better and then send them to other teams? I mean, like, I'm just gonna be honest, I'm getting tired of this shit. Okay? I'm getting tired of it. Like, Andrew fucking Wiggins? That's who we're interested in? Andrew Wiggins? We don't want DeMar DeRozan, though. We don't want Karl Anthony Towns. We don't want DeAndre Ayton. Okay? We don't want DeJounte Murray. We don't want Drew Holiday. We don't want Paul George. We don't want Kawhi Leonard. We don't want Kevin Durant. But you know who we do want? Andrew Wiggins. Andrew fucking Wiggins. You have got to be fucking shitting me. Andrew Wiggins? Have you looked at his stats? Like, there's a reason that the Golden State Warriors are trying to get rid of him. My man's is shooting 41% from the field this year, 29% from three, and I think 68% from the free throw line on 12 points per game. Even his defense has fallen off a fucking cliff, and he's got 3 years left on that deal after this year, and you want to take that on at $24 million plus a year? There is a reason that Golden State is trying to rid themselves of his contract, because they know Klay Thompson's contract expires at the end of this year. So here's the question I must ask, okay? Would you prefer us to get Pascal Siakam or they fucking Golden State Warriors? Because if they get rid of Andrew Wiggins and they don't bring back Klay Thompson, guess who they're going to have enough money to sign in the offseason, boys? Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a hint. He wears number 43 and plays for the fucking Toronto Raptors. It's like, I swear, man, I understand that we want to make a trade. I understand that we want to add talent, okay? But for whatever reason, it seems like when we want to add that talent, we're super fucking critical of everything but being a good basketball player, it seems. It does, like, we care more about the age of a player than we do about how good they actually fucking are. Okay? Like, I'm tired of it, man. Like, I'm not even lying. If the Indiana Pacers trade for Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, and they give up Buddy Hield, Obi Toppin, and a first-round pick to do it, because that's probably what you're going to be looking at in order to pull that trade off, I am done being a Pacers fan. If they make that trade for Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, and they give up Buddy Hield, fucking Obi Toppin, and a first-round pick, a 2024 first-rounder, because that's what Golden State's going to want, if they do that, I am done. I will find another team to be a part of, because you are literally setting yourself up for fucking failure at that point. Like, that's a trade that Chad Buchanan should lose his fucking job over if he makes it. Him and Kevin Pritchard both. They should both lose their fucking jobs if they decide to make that trade. Because Obi Toppin he's only played for us for like a year. I get he's not great defensively, but like, it's like we're desperate for defense, and what we're doing is just like, okay, Andrew Wiggins might still be a good defender. Jonathan Kuminga might be a good defender. Jonathan Kuminga's okay, but he's not great. Like, this team gets worse if you make that trade. This team legitimately not only gets worse, okay, but you lock yourself into Andrew Wiggins for the next 3 years. At $24 million plus a year. Say goodbye to signing any fucking free agents you thought you were getting. Okay? We have an opportunity this year to go into the offseason with more cap space available than pretty much every other fucking team in free agency, other than San Antonio. And I think we all agree Pascal Siakam's not going to San Antonio. Okay? So, or Detroit. They're two of the worst teams in the NBA. So what we're going to do is, what we want to do now is trade for Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga and fuck all that up. Because if we just trade Buddy Hield, okay, and we just let Bruce Brown go, Pascal Siakam technically falls right into our fucking lap. But if we do some dumb shit, like trade for Andrew Wiggins, Mr. 29% from 3 and 41% from the field, that guy, if we trade for him, you're fucked. Hallie's contract extension kicks in next year. Aaron Nesmith's contract extension kicks in next year. You have Bruce Brown on a team option. Then you want to lock yourself into $24 million of basically dead cap weight for like a fucking project and hope that he becomes what he was maybe a year or two ago, and even that wasn't super impressive. I mean, I don't get it, man. Andrew Wiggins, okay? If we look at Andrew Wiggins, his career stats, right? This is a dude who shoots 44% from the field and 35% from 3, 71% from the free throw line for his fucking career. He's been an all-star one time. The best season he ever had was when he was like, let's see, 46 and 39, 46 and 38. The best season he ever had was when he was like 25 with the Golden State Warriors. That was the year he shot 47% from the field, 38% from 3, and 71% from the free throw line on like 18 a game. But this year, my man's has been fucking abysmal. Okay? Like, even the, like, if he were still shooting, 40% from 3, almost 50% from the field, that'd be one thing. His free throw percentage is fucking garbage. Don't count on him to make free throws. He was scoring 17 a game. Like, I'm sorry, I have no faith in Andrew Wiggins. Okay? Andrew Wiggins is not a game changer. That's the problem. Okay? I get it. Like, on a good year, solid dude. Okay? When he's shooting 47% from the field, 38% from 3 on 18, 17, anywhere from 17 to 19 points per game, he's all right. But the fact of the matter is he's not a difference maker. This is what this team needs right now, is a difference maker. It doesn't need a guy that they're going to hang on to for 3 years now and, hope that he can turn it around. I just like, dude, Pascal Siakam is like almost the fucking same age as Andrew Wiggins. And Pascal Siakam is a better player than Andrew Wiggins. So what? So we go into the playoffs this year, and let's just say we get knocked out in the first round. Let's say that happens, right? We lose in the first round. Okay, Buddy walks, we let Bruce Brown walk, and we sign Pascal Siakam to a contract that nobody else can. Like, does it burn that bad? Because I'm just going to be honest, man. If we trade for Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, we're wasting Halliburton's time. That's what we're doing. We're wasting Tyrese Halliburton's time. But, like, honestly, it'd be kind of comical. It'd be like if I were Tyrese Halliburton, I'd be laughing. Like, it would be like a panic laugh. Like this is what the fuck you're giving me? You know, like that's what if I were Tyrese Halliburton, that's how I would feel. Because you are going to get Pascal Siakam to practically fall into your fucking lap in free agency. And if you trade for Andrew Wiggins just because Jonathan Kuminga's involved, you are going to fuck that up. So, I don't know, man. I don't get it. I really don't. I understand that Tyrese Halliburton makes everybody look like 5 times better than they fucking are. And I understand that might be a little bit intriguing to get yourself a solidified wing player. But we're developing wing players. We have Aaron Nesmith. We have Benedict Mathurin. Shit, we even have Miles Turner. Even though, like, I'm not confident in Miles Turner. But we still have Miles Turner. We could add Pascal Siakam. Okay? He could be the only guy we add in the offseason. Right? And go into next season having Benedict Mathurin in year 3, and having Aaron Nesmith in you know the start of his new contract, with Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner, and with the way Benedict Mathurin's playing this year, there's an argument to be made that he'll be even better next year. But then we get another year with Jarris Walker. I mean, at this point, like, I understand that a lot of the guys that we thought were available are like the water's getting murky on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kawhi's re-signing with the Clippers. It looks like Paul George is going to re-sign there potentially as well. So I understand the trade market is maybe drying up a little bit for guys that you were maybe interested in. Maybe DeJounte Murray is still available. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, I would really, really fucking hate it if we traded for Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, and then Pascal Siakam becomes an unrestricted free agent, and we could have offered him a max deal to come here, 4 or 5 years, $100 million plus, all right, and had been a legitimate playoff threat, a legitimate Eastern Conference Finals team, maybe even an NBA Finals team at that point, depending on Benedict Mathurin's development. Like, and not for nothing, but like, Andrew Wiggins isn't filling a void on this team. Like, Andrew Wiggins is not playing the 4 spot. Like, you have Aaron Nesmith, who I honestly, like, I think Nesmith is going to be way better than Andrew Wiggins will ever fucking be. And that's another reason I don't like this, is because we have a value contract in Aaron Nesmith, and we're just, like, I'm sorry, but Aaron Nesmith and Benedict Mathurin are 2 guys you just have to let play. You just have to let them play. Okay, fuck Andrew Wiggins, fuck Jonathan Kuminga, sign Pascal Siakam in the offseason. Give him an offer he simply cannot fucking refuse. Then at that point, we can start, like, really fucking around looking for additional pieces. But trading, I'm sorry, but if we trade for Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, it feels like a desperation move. Like, I'm going to call it what it is. It feels like a desperation move. And I don't like desperation moves like that, because the fact of the matter is, you're not guaranteed to really get any better. You're adding players to your team at positions you don't really need. You're taking on excess salary that you don't really need, when you can fix a giant hole in your team in the offseason by just signing one guy to a slightly bigger than usual contract. Okay? I mean, I honestly, you know what? If the Pacers wanted to pay Pascal Siakam $35-40 million a year, I'm fine with it. I am perfectly fine with it. Because you know what? At that point, our team is a bona fide, solidified playoff team that could get to the second round or even to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then at that point, all you got to do is let the motherfuckers you have develop. That's all you got to do. You just got to keep it together. That's all you got to do. And suddenly, you have a decent-looking playoff team. I don't know, man. You know what? I'm not the GM. I can't tell the front office what to do, but I do not think on even a good day that Andrew Wiggins is the answer for this team. I just don't. The most he has ever scored points per game wise in his career, I think, is 22 points per game, if I'm correct. Like, he's never averaged 25 a day in his fucking life. Okay, hold on. I lied. His third year in the league, he averaged 23.6 a game, but that's because they also gave him like 19 field goal attempts a game. He took the most shots of his career that year. But it's just the idea, man, like, I'm not sold on it. I'm just not. You know, I think that trading for him is a desperation move. It locks you in a salary cap that you simply don't want a part of, because trading for Andrew Wiggins means like you basically can't sign fucking anybody. So I don't know. And like, he's 6'7", 200 pounds. Like, he really can't even play the 4. Like, his defense has kind of fallen off a cliff this year. 0.3 steals, 0.4 blocks. Like, what are we doing? Are we in the business of taking on people's failed projects and resurrecting careers too? Is that what we're doing now also? Like, I'm sorry. I hate this trade idea. I hate it. I hate that there's reports about it. I hate that people are even talking about it, because the fact of the matter is, okay, like, the front office seems to do trades that the fan base wants, with Obi Toppin and going after OG Anunoby and stuff like that. They listen to the fan base and they're like, oh, the fan base wants this guy. Maybe we should get him here. You know, and like, the fans will support him. And I get that. As a fan, you should support your team and their decisions and the players that they have. But the fact of the matter is, at some point in time, you got to stop drinking the fucking Kool-Aid. Okay? I'm sorry. I hate this. I can't stand it. I think if they make this trade move, it is a desperation trade move. And I would almost argue that a trade move like this would be a desperation move in order to keep Tyrese Halliburton happy. Like, that's what I would argue this is. Because we've already heard Tyrese Halliburton come out and say, like, I'm tired of losing. I want to be a winner. And that's commendable. Okay? But if all you have to do is wait another half of the fucking season to get the guy that you really need, that fills a legitimate hole on your team, that can score 24, 25 a game and play defense, what the fuck are we talking about? I don't know, man. All I know is, if they pull a trade off for Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, I am done being a fucking Pacers fan. I don't give a fuck if Halliburton scores 100 points in a game and dishes 70 fucking assists. Okay? Like, I'm done at that point. I will legitimately be done, because it will be one of the dumbest fucking moves made in franchise history. Almost as bad as the Danny Granger trade. Okay? That took a team that was arguably a championship roster and ruined the fucking morale immediately. So, I don't know, man. You know what? Gonna be what's gonna be.